basketball is on a Saturday afternoon at the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs as we get set for Air Force and UNLV inside Clune Arena here as the Air Force Falcons try to get on the win column, get in the win column here in the Mountain West Conference against a high-powered UNLV team. And we welcome you in courtside, everyone. Josh Howe alongside Jeff Bennett. And Jeff, for the Air Force Falcons, it's been a tough sledding this year. 0-15 in Mountain West Conference play. They've lost 19 straight, and as of yesterday, it has become official. They've lost their head coach in Joe Scott as the Air Force Academy, and Joe Scott mutually agreed to part ways, and now some finality, and the future is clear for this team on the floor here today.
Yeah, no doubt. They're starting a new era of Air Force basketball tonight. And, you know, for the guys on the court, yeah, they're 0-15 in Mountain West. They want to change that desperately. Trust me, they've been working hard in training. You know, they're going to put their best foot forward tonight. And look, it wouldn't shock me because this is a good group of young men. They know how to persevere. Let's see how they do against a very good athletic UNLV team.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers. Both these teams, and UNLV comes in scoring nearly 80 points a game up and down the lineup. This is a team that is going to be a challenge to slow down if you're interim head coach John Jordan and the Air Force Falcons.
Yeah, and I'm sure they've talked about it leading up to this game in terms of how they want to come out and defend UNLV. Obviously, like we said, very athletic. They like to get up and down the court. So can Air Force D up tonight? Can they force some turnovers? Can they get some, you know, points in transition off those turnovers? Anything to reduce that point differential, as we see on the screen there. It's 18 points. Can they make that up tonight?
Well, nearly 80 points a game, led by Dre Gibbs Lawhorn, the transfer out of Illinois. He scored 31 in that loss against CSU the other night. 6 straight games of 20-plus points or more. He will be a key in terms of trying to slow down this Rebel attack.
And obviously a seasoned player, has played at really high levels, knows how to get to the hole and put points up. How Air Force deals with him tonight will go a long way to their success.
Air Force, a lot of success from the underclassmen this season, led by Lucas Hoban.
Yeah, 11 points per game he's putting up, and the last 3 have been double digits, 26 points a couple nights ago. He's going to be a go-to player. As you said, he can hit from outside, he can drive and penetrate. Can they lean on him tonight? And I know it's a lot to ask out of a freshman, but can they lean on him tonight to get their first win column in the Mountain West?
Hoban nearly 60 made threes coming into this one this afternoon. It's the Rebels and the Falcons will tip it off when we come back.
Bedlam tonight here in Boise.
The crowd is pumping at the pit. This place is electric.
There's nothing average about the Air Force Academy or those who come here.
It takes more than smarts and good grades.
It takes grit.
It's for the I never quit students, the relentless, persevering, most likely to keep trying until I reach my best students.
Because we will go on to lead others, push boundaries, save lives, and represent American ideals.
If you've got what it takes, prove it.
Clune Arena is Air Force playing host to the running Rebels of UNLV. Josh Howe, Jeff Bennett, as we get set for the 68th meeting all time between these two schools as we look at the starting lineup for UNLV, and Dre Gibbs leads the way, but plenty of help around number 0, Jeff.
Yeah, no doubt, and you can see with just their lineup, they're going to be seasoned. They know what they're doing out there. I love it when you have 2 seniors, you know, and obviously you got Gibbs Lawhorn in your starting lineup. That's an explosive 5 right there.
Hamilton, Lawhorn, both transfers. Hamilton out of High Point and Lawhorn from Illinois. 4, Air Force, Lucas Hoban, the freshman out of Katy, Texas, leading point scorer, but Eli Robinson, what a year he's had as a sophomore, big contributor. He's a playmaker.
Yeah, and I just, you know, you look at the UNLV starting 5 and you look at the Air Force starting 5, the Air Force starting 5 young. right? They're molding themselves. They've got years to grow and get better together, and I love that. And as you know, as we said before, as a program that's looking at a new era that's about to start, that's a real positive in my opinion.
UNLV comes in 6th in the Mountain West Conference. Air Force knows the work in front of them. UNLV looking for a bounce back. They had a 3-game win streak snapped in a 91-86 loss to CSU at home on Wednesday. So the Rebels thinking bounce back, and Air Force, as we talked about, kind of a reset mindset for this team. And hey, it's just get one. Go out there, play your best against a very talented UNLV team. So Wes Silahusky will jump it up, the junior out of Georgetown, Indiana. And for the running Rebels, it's Jacob Ben-Arby. And Air Force will control here. Glad you could join us on a Saturday afternoon here on the Mountain West Network. Air Force and UNLV. Falcons going down low. Off the window for 2. Cam Sanders gets the opening bucket of the game for Air Force.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see off your first offensive set. You know UNLV's going to score points, so you've got to match it.
Catch it, shoot it, short iron, and Sanders able to pull down the rebound, up ahead, and one. Lucas Hoban, chance for the 3-point play.
Yeah, and I guess he heard us talking about him in the pregame. That's a good N1, and you couldn't ask for a better start if you're the Falcons right now out. Hopefully, you know, this N1 makes it 5. Great start.
So Lucas Hoban at the free throw line. 82% from the line this season, and this is an area that's been an Achilles heel for the Falcons, but Hoban certainly a bright spot and a good start here for Air Force with a 5-0 lead.
Well, you know, we talked about it. Air Force obviously hasn't seen the success they want this year. Sometimes you're a little bit more dangerous. You're just coming out playing really loose, nothing to really lose.
The drive to the hole with the right hand, no. And a rebound pulled in by Eli Robinson. You got Sanders, Robinson up top here for the Falcons. Hoban over on the left side.
And that's a couple early defensive boards for Robinson.
Down the lane with the right hand, Robinson short. Rebels rip down the rebound. Walter Brown, bounce pass down low. Power dribble, fade away, no. And good position on the rebound by Ethan Greenberg. Silahusky on the receiving end from Sanders, uses that left arm to battle down low. They'll kick it up top to Sanders. 17 to shoot for the Falcons. Sanders, little step back 3, no. And the Rebs rip down the board. They've controlled the defensive glass to this point. Early on here, down 5-0. They'll bounce it out to Ben-Arby, and he'll get the opening 2 for UNLV.
Yeah, and you knew it was a matter of time, and some good defending down in the block by Sanders. And you know, my apologies earlier. I said Robinson with a couple early boards at Sanders, and you know, had a good little step back that didn't fall for him on the last offensive set. But this is where if Air Force, Josh, if they can just keep some momentum, get good looks.
Greenberg flips it up and turns it over. First turnover of the game for Air Force. Ben-Arby, little hesitation there, kick out to the corner. Defended there by Eli Robinson. This is Dre Gibbs Lawhorn. Pass over to the right side, they go in the paint. 13 to shoot. Gibbs Lawhorn. Runner, short. And Air Force trying to take advantage of the early UNLV misses. Rebs 1 for their first 4 from the field.
Yeah, 3 minutes in though, Jess, you gotta love how Air Force has opened up this game defensively.
Robinson has it blocked.
Great defensive effort there, and now UNLV coming back down the court.
Lowering the shoulder is Williamson, and good hands there by Robinson. It'll be Rebel ball here. Just over 3 minutes in, and a substitution for head coach Josh Pastner. Is UNLV able to get down and cover in time. Here to the ball game comes Tyron Jones along with Howie Fleming Jr. Fleming Jr. transfer out of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Tyron Jones, a local product, freshman from Las Vegas. Then Arby gives it off to Fleming Jr. Long three, short iron, tipped out. Falcon basketball.
We talked about a little bit in the opening, a little bit of the adversity that the Air Force group has seen this year. You wouldn't know it right now with the start, Josh. They're coming out playing really hard, working for one another.
Air Force 2 for their first 5 from the field. UNLV just 1 for their first 6. Feed inside from Robinson. Sella Husky now. It's Tyron Jones. Company into the front court here. Little hesitation with the right hand. And free throws coming for the first time this afternoon for UNLV. Gibbs Lawhorn to the line, where he has been an 83% free throw shooter this season.
Yeah, and Gibbs Lawhorn obviously trying to get his day started here. And the Falcons, we talked about how shutting him down would be imperative to having success today. They've done a good job here in the first 4 minutes, but a good strong drive.
Trey Gibbs Lawhorn Jr. out of Lafayette, Indiana, by way of the University of Illinois. A couple of substitutions for the Falcons is Kobe Jill in along with Riley Daring. Daring, a freshman. One more for Gibbs Lawhorn. It's a 5-4 game. You just joined us. Air Force jumped out to the 5-0 lead, and UNLV scored the last 4. Hanging, no, Tobin put back. Third effort goes Lucas Hoban. Falcons by 3.
And Hoban again showing his worth, and we've talked about how he's had really good games coming into this one.
Off the turnover, Cam Sanders into the front court here for Air Force. Daring down low for the Falcons. Robinson up top, Jill now. Part of the 5 on the floor for Air Force, and then Hoban rounds out the unit. And a long 3 for Ethan Greenberg. His 44th made 3 of the season.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start here for the Falcons. Coming out, they're holding UNLV, 1 of 6 on the floor.
Power dribble on the jam inside, Tyron Jones. Lob pass. Air Force rotates it over. Long 3, Sanders no. Long rebound, hauled in by Tyron Jones. And a whistle. And this will go against Air Force, and this will take us to our first time out here in the opening half. Well, the Falcons out in front here early. The long ball, Ethan Greenberg. Falcons by 4.
We could tell you how we push past the status quo. And how no one out-innovates us. Or we can just show you.
Back here, Clune Arena, United States Air Force Academy, as the Air Force Falcons out in front against UNLV by a score of 10-6. Josh Howe, Jeff Bennett. And Jeff, what a start for interim head coach John Jordan, his team. 4 of 11 from the field. They've controlled the boards and controlled the pace of play here in the first 5 minutes.
No doubt. Like we said in the break there amongst ourselves, a really bit of a dream start here for the Falcons. From the defensive side of the ball, they've been fantastic, working hard. 2 of 7, they're holding UNLV from 29% field goals from the field.
As the Rebels nearly turn it over, drive to the hole, off the window, going to have basket interference. Yes, the basket will count. Or well, hold on.
Waving it off.
Are they going to call this offensive?
They're calling it offensive, and I'm sure they're going to want to take a look at it.
So hangs. Oh yeah, he did grab the basket with his right hand. That's Tyron Jones. So basket looks to be basket interference on UNLV. So as you heard there, our official Ian Caldwell just said Josh Pastner, the head coach of the Rebels, going to challenge that. And Jeff, I don't think they're going to overturn this because Jones got his right hand on it right there, the rim. Interfere with the basket clearly, but we'll see if it was enough to overturn it. But from at least this angle,
yeah, and that's where I don't know if coach, I don't know if he saw that.
Because in live look, my first reaction was perhaps it was on Air Force, but clearly replaying it, slowing it down, you could see Jones grabbing it with the right hand. We'll take another look here. Yeah, it's close. There's nothing conclusive there that to me would say we've got to overturn that.
Well, and that's exactly it, right? It has to be cut and dry, and I don't think you have that right there. His right hand definitely touches the rim of the balls in the cylinder. Has to stay, in my opinion, which means I'll be wrong.
Well, they've got 3 of them to try to figure it out. Brian McNutt, Ian Caldwell, and Derek Agagnes, our crew here this afternoon at Clune Arena. And this is a big one. We talked about Air Force obviously trying to get in the win column for the first time this season in Mountain West play, but UNLV had a bit of a setback against CSU, losing at home to the Rams. The officials huddled up here, but they've got a crucial stretch here that can determine where they finish as far as that Mountain West Conference tournament goes, and perhaps getting a bye in the opening round.
Well, and that's it. If you're looking at it from a coaching perspective, this is what you would deem the trap game, because the next 4 games for the Rebels are against opponents ahead of them in the standings. So literally, they can jump into 4th place. They're looking for that first round bye in the Mountain West tournament. Everything is in control for them, but this is the game they have to get past. On the road against a team that hasn't won a game in the Mountain West, it is literally the trap game. And as a coach, nothing more scary than that.
Jeff, I'm surprised it's taking this long, unless they saw something maybe with the Air Force player that interfered with the basket or the basketball. But
I mean, it was definitely tipped in from an Air Force player. It went off of an Air Force player's hand in the bucket. It's whether the grabbing of the rim, did that occur first, and will that negate it?
100%. So officials going to come over, Ian Caldwell, with the ruling.
After review,
okay, thank you.
Challenge has been deemed successful.
You heard Ian Caldwell there. Simultaneous basket
violations.
interference. So
UNLV's on the rim.
It will
at
be
the same time Air Force touches the ball.
UNLV basketball, and that was a bang play. When we Kobe Jill picks up his first personal foul.
And he did not agree with that call. You know, not much there.
So Kamani Hamilton, 75% free throw shooter, hits the front end. UNLV as a team making 69% of their free throws, and today they're a perfect 3 of 3 here in the early going. They stay perfect. 4 made free throws for the Rebels, and they're within 2 here, the Falcons. Just under 15 minutes to go in this opening half. H.A. Patterson kick out for 3. Soaring high for the rebound. The Rebels rip it down quickly into the front court. Comes Gibbs Lawhorn. Are there by Patterson. Reverse dribble, hanging and hitting. Beautiful move by Tyron Jones. We're tied at 10.
Great move by Jones, and there was good help D there by the Falcons. Didn't matter because Jones went to the hoop strong.
Greenberg trying to answer back, and a lot of one and done on these possessions here in the first half for Air Force. Free ball and answer. Jones back-to-back buckets, and the Rebels have their first lead, up 13 to 10.
Yeah, and Jones is starting to feel it, but you know, going back to what you just said, I think the Falcons, they're when they have an offensive possession here and they throw up a shot, I'm not sure they're so worried about offensive boards. They don't want to get caught in transition. The concept of defensive transition for them right now is very important.
Hoban off the mark. Jill now 3 to shoot. Long 3. Shot clock violation. Rebels have the basketball. They'll push. So it's been a bit of a momentum swing here in the early going. Air Force controlled the first 5+ minutes, and now UNLV on a run. They get the reverse inside from Jacob Benarbi. Timeout of the floor. 13:09 to go, and the Rebels have their biggest lead of the afternoon. Part of a 9-0 run here for UNLV.
Yeah, it's part of that run off of that review, Josh. Almost a little mini timeout and reset for the running Rebels during that review.
UNLV attacking to the hole, the drive, the dish, and using the left hand there. Jacob Benarbi, the sophomore out of Anchorage, Alaska, goes 6'9". You look up and down Josh Pashner's lineup. This is a talented roster.
Well, we just saw in that quick 9-0 run why they're averaging basically 80 points a game. They can score in streaks. They're talented across the starting 5 and with everyone coming off the bench. This is a good running Rebels team, and again, we're talking about their fate being in their hands. They can start a lot of really good momentum with a good showing today.
Some big wins for UNLV and Mountain West play. They beat Utah State, the #1 team of the conference, by 10 in Logan. And then they beat Boise State in overtime. Some quality wins, and this is a team that is going to give Air Force everything they can handle, and then some today. Falcons down 5 here. Cam Sanders goes to work, turning around. He'll go to the free throw line for 2.
And a good strong move by Sanders. Love the fact that he gets into the lane. Strong drive to the hole. Earns a trip to the stripe.
So Cam Sanders, 75% free throw shooter. He's at 90 free throws coming into today. Sanders now with 3 points here in the opening half. And in and out. Last time these two teams played back in early January in Las Vegas, it was all UNLV. Rebels back down, and they walk with the basketball as Benarbi shuffles the feet. Turnover, UNLV, that's their second here in the opening half.
Yeah, can they turn that turnover there into some points here? Close that gap, because you don't want to let the running Rebels Tigers get too far ahead. They're too explosive.
Eli Robinson, the Lewis Palmer product from right up the road in Monument. 10 to shoot here for the Falcons, and they turn it over. Second turnover of the half here for Air Force. Hamilton in rhythm, short iron, and a whistle away from the ball. They're going to get Van Arby. Looks to be a push inside on the redshirt sophomore from Anchorage. Van Arby picks up his first. John Jordan substitution as Eli Robinson, or rather Ethan Greenberg, goes to the bench. Scylla Husky in along with Hoban. Robinson thought about the three. You got Cam Sanders on the floor along with Colby Jill. Just under 12 to play here in the opening half. Scylla Husky. The screen there for Cam Sanders.
Yeah, I want to see if they can get Hoban a little bit more involved.
They get a whistle, a foul. And this will go against Dre Gibbs Lawhorn. Timeout on the floor. And with that, we will step aside. 11:37 to go here in the opening half. UNLV out to a 4-point lead.
SJSU, every sunrise sparks your purpose. Purpose, ignited in the classroom, on the field, through Silicon Valley internships, academics, teamwork, and research. And our community of care means that every Spartan is valued and supported. So tell me, are you Spartan ready?
In the Air Force, we operate as a team of teams. We believe greatness can come from anywhere. Many roles with one aim. Different ways to lead. Different ways to look at and solve problems. With the flexibility to do it your way. Full-time, part-time, in or out of uniform. We are all airmen. One Air Force, a team of teams.
Josh Howe, Jeff Bennett back here courtside. UNLV leading Air Force 15-10. And Jeff, a swing in momentum here in the early going. Air Force got out to that 5-0 lead. They were in rhythm, playing well, but boy, over the last 3+ minutes, the Rebels on an 11-1 run, and Air Force just struggling 2 of their last 13 from the field.
Well, and that's the difference. The offensive side of the ball, you know, rebounds basically even, turnovers basically even. It is literally Air Force's productivity here from the floor.
4 to shoot here. Cam Sanders, long 3. Transit, Cam Sanders. And if you're Josh Pastner, you like those percentages, tip your cap. Cam Sanders, big time 3. The Falcons needed that. And they're within 1.
100%. I think if you're UNLV, you'll give him that shot all day. But, you know, Sanders trying to take this game over a little bit on his own.
Robinson picks up the dribble. Sanders now. Chill. The drive. Hangs. Gets the bucket. Air Force back in front.
Exactly what you want to see coming out of a timeout right there is Air Force on the front foot.
Approaching the halfway point here in the opening half. Air Force has scored the last 6 points. In the low block. 1-on-1 down low, and UNLV wins it. Tyron Jones using that big 6'9" frame. Rebels by 1.
Yeah, and Jones having himself a game. 9 points already in this contest.
There's Cam Sanders, bounce pass, they turn it over. UNLV on the move with Hamilton. Little step through with the left hand, and he gets the roll.
Kind of living in a game of runs here, Josh.
UNLV now 7 of 15 from the field. Their lead's 3. Inside of 10 to play here in the opening half. Top 3 goes Ethan Greenberg. And this is a guy, when he gets hot, he can be a game-changing type of player. His second 3 of the game. Tied at 19. An answer for the Rebels, no. Sanders all alone for the rebound. Looking for Robinson on the right side. He backs off. Jill now. Selahusky battling down low on the block. Robinson gives it off to Greenberg. Off the ball fake. Doubled up. Kick out to Robinson. 15 out of the shot clock. Selahusky to Sanders. Lightning quick, but better defense by UNLV.
Yeah, I don't mind the drive by Sanders. He's having himself a day. Six points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. He's trying to lead his group.
Jeff, that's twice today we've seen the Rebels close defensively. So quick and so long inside.
So quick, so long, athletic. Hard to drive the lane against this running Rebels team.
Eli Robinson directing traffic here. Selahusky on the screen, pops down to the low block. Robinson, drive, dish outside. Falcons turn it over again. Their 4th turnover of the half. Power dribble with the left hand, no. Selahusky battling. Loose ball, Robinson has it.
Yeah, what I love right there, too, a good transition. Sanders with a great dish.
And Selahusky a finish. And a timeout on the floor. 21-19, Air Force has made 4 of their last 5 from the field. Sanders, a big 3. Falcons leading by a bucket.
With the Mountain West app, it's your game, your way. Designed for superfans like you, so that you'll never miss a play. We've got you covered with free access to thousands of Mountain West games, from your phone to the big screen. Stream live games, watch highlights, and unlock exclusive content anytime. Download the app today.
Back in the opening half of this one, Cam Sanders, the beautiful feed to Wes Selahusky, and Air Force punching back against the Rebels, who are on an 11-1 run. Air Force gets the bucket. They're up by 2. Josh Howe, Jeff Bennett here. Jeff, you look at the numbers. The Falcons 8 of 20 from the field. UNLV 7 of 18. And the Falcons have hit 3 triples so far. Been a good game here. Air Force trying to spring the upset against UNLV team that's 6th in the Mountain West Conference coming in. Averaging nearly 80 points a game. Hanging in the paint and one. Kimani Hamilton, the senior out of Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah, and a good finish there by Hamilton. Just a little one-on-one. Look at it, just hangs in there in the lane. Little hit on the elbow and a good finish.
So Hamilton, a 75% free throw shooter. He's been perfect in his only other trip this afternoon. It's 2 of 2. Good stroke. Three-point play is good, and the Rebels back in front. 4 lead changes make it 5 now in this game. Still over 7 minutes to play here in the first half. Away from the ball. Foul on the play, and it goes against Jacob Van Arby, a redshirt sophomore out of Anchorage, and that is 2. Now 3 on Van Arby. He'll check out of the contest.
Yeah, there's 7.5 left in the first. That might be the last we see of him this half, sitting on 3, but.
On the inbound, Eli Robinson. Over to Greenberg. Robinson now on the floor, creates a little separation, can't get the roll. UNLV pulls down the board. Hesitation and then a hand check. It looks like on Air Force. That's A.J. Patterson. Tyron Jones, when he gets going downhill, tough to stop.
Tough to stop. 9 points, 4-4 from the floor. He's also added 5 rebounds. And we've got 7 minutes left in the first half.
Rebels on the inbound. Hamilton working one-on-one. Going to the right side, leaves it short. Tremendous defense by the freshman out of Dallas, Riley Daring.
Those are the type of defensive efforts the Falcons need on a more consistent basis to hang with this running Rebels team.
Daring with a little half hook, turnaround, no. Gets his own rebound. Robinson, the ball fake. Finishing with the right hand.
Yeah, just the energy, the vibe, Josh. You know, the Air Force bench is into it. Every player, they're coaching, they're energetic.
Inside with the right hand, leans, gets it off the window. Tyron Jones, another 2. Jones, a big first half for the freshman out of Las Vegas. Jones now with 11.
Jones is a problem right now for the Falcons.
Robinson, give to Holman, has it stripped away. Rebels, they'll push. Gibbs Lawhorn that crossover. Good help defense there by Robinson. UNLV sets it up now here with just under 6 to play in this first half. Josh Passner barking out the play. Rebels will run it. Jones, 8 to shoot. Gibbs Lawhorn behind the back between the legs. Tough shot, no. Great defensive stand by the Falcons.
It is, and Gibbs, Lawhorn, and Jones almost playing a little 2-man game right there.
High arcing 3, short, and then a whistle inside. And it looks like it's going to go against the freshman, Riley Daring. And Daring picks up his first. You love to see the energy off the bench, though, out of the freshman, Riley Daring.
Oh, 100%.
Just a little bit of a bump there, and official right on it. So Rebel basketball here, up by 1. We've had 7 lead changes here in the opening half. Still over 5 minutes to play here in the first.
And the Falcons get Sanders back on the floor, which I think is an important piece for them.
Gibbs Lawhorn. 15 to the clock.
We've talked about this crossover. Gibbs Lawhorn is a handful on the dribble.
How about this
so
kid?
Quick, Jones, I know.
The freshman.
Like I said, he's a problem. You know, and that's an unbelievable compliment. He's a problem.
And he has got a burst. He's long, but so quick. So Tyron Jones, 52% free throw shooter. His first trip to the line today, and it's kind of hard to believe, Jeff, when you think about his scoring. He scored 11 points now, 12, but he attacks the basket. That's the first foul he's drawn.
Well, you said it, he's long, but he's quick, he's confident on the dribble. Obviously comfortable finishing in close.
Certainly an impact freshman. Coming off the bench today, Jones, 1 of 2 on that trip. He's got 12 points here. We're under 5 to play here in the first. Greenberg, bounce pass to Silda Husky. Sanders calling for it. Gonna work one-on-one. Turning, good help defense by UNLV, but good hustle play by Sanders. 6 to shoot. Hanging, hitting, Cam Sanders.
I tell you, we're talking about Jones from a UNLV perspective, but Sanders from a Falcon perspective has been fantastic. 8 points now on the night.
Tied at 25, 3-ball, no. Sanders soars for the defensive rebound. And we're gonna get a block on UNLV.
Yeah, it looks like that might be Gibbs Lawhorn.
So Gibbs Lawhorn picks up his 3rd. So you have Gibbs Lawhorn with 3, and then Jacob Van Arby with 3.
And that's 2 of the starting 5 now you've got sitting on the bench for UNLV in a little foul trouble.
How about Gibbs Lawhorn? 3 fouls with just 2 points. Again, keep in mind coming into this, he had 6 consecutive games of 20-plus points or more. He had 31 in that loss against CSU on Wednesday. This is a basket scoring machine, but Air Force holding him in check here, and a big reason why this one is tied at 25.
No doubt, Josh, and just looking at him sitting on the bench, he's frustrated with himself. You know, that's a young man that I don't think you can hold for 40. You know, he's going to regroup and come out in that second half, but right now the Falcons have done everything they can to frustrate him.
Jill, couple of fakes with the right hand, floats it up and in. The junior out of Chicago has put Air Force back in front by 2.
It's a lot to ask out of a freshman, but here, do you put the ball in Jones's hands and just say, look, you've been our best player today. Carry us a bit.
What a start here for the Falcons from the corner. And UNLV back up by 1. 3-ball from Walter Brown, the senior out of New Zealand. Cam Sanders under 3 to play here. A little hesitation, the drive. Leans in, no. And tipped out, that'll stay Air Force basketball. And with that, a timeout on the floor. 2:45 to go here in the opening half. What a half. 9 lead changes. The Rebels with a 1-point lead.
Old Trapper Beefs. Energy emergency. Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Sports fans, we cheer on our favorite teams at fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away. And they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes, act with respect, and be officially human.
What a game here this afternoon at the United States Air Force Academy. The Air Force Falcons And UNLV running Rebels in a 1-point game. Josh Howe, Jeff Bennett, Jeff, 9 lead changes. And so many different momentum swings in this one. Air Force came firing out of the gate, took a 5-0 lead. UNLV answered back on an 11-0 run. And here we set under 3 minutes to play in a 28-27 game. And if you're interim head coach John Jordan, you couldn't ask for a better start here against a talented UNLV team.
No doubt, and I'm looking at the stat sheet right now. And for me, Josh, total rebounds. Air Force is out rebounding the running Rebels by 8, and that is 100% what's keeping them in this game. It's just they're working so hard. You can see 15 defensive rebounds for the Falcons. Field goal percentage almost even across the board. That's the differential and why they're hanging in.
And you look at Air Force coming in, they're nearly -7 in that department, but certainly they have the edge here in the opening half. So a little bit of a delay is, well, Tyron Jones, he's been the story on multiple fronts here in the first half. Jones, the leading scorer, the freshman out of Las Vegas with 12, but he had some trouble here at the timeout, so they're having to clean it up. Hopefully for Jones's sake and UNLV, he'll be able to make his way back, but he was escorted back into the locker room, so we'll see if he returns as they clean it up on the far side, and it looks like he's being tended to, perhaps cramped up, obviously playing at altitude. Perhaps that's factoring in. Nonetheless, something is not right with number 6.
No, and look, right, traveling's hard. You know, as a team, traveling's hard. A, put a period at the end of that sentence, it's true. B, traveling to altitude is unbelievably difficult. And you're talking about a freshman. So he hasn't traveled here before, so it's a different way. And look, we're speculating, obviously, but it's just it's a different way of hydration. It's a different way of fueling yourself. But yeah, you know, hopefully for that young man, it's just cramping, and he's had such a great start to this game. It would be a shame not to see him back out on the court.
Yeah, Jones is a guy averaging 11 a game. He's above his season average, and we still have time to go in the opening half. Now the Air Force Falcons, we talked about a mutual parting of ways with former head coach Joe Scott, 10 seasons here at the Academy, and the interim head coach now John Jordan, and this team has responded big time for Coach Jordan here this afternoon.
You know, and we talked about it, just a reset button for everybody. And you know, at the end of the day, you're talking about a group of unbelievably resilient young men. That's why they're here at the Academy. They're driven, they're focused, and you're seeing that today. It's been a great effort. Hopefully it continues.
Out of the timeout, 5 to shoot here for the Falcons. Robinson, Greenberg, long 3, short iron. And the Rebels will control here. Up a point. Hamilton quickly out of the front court. They'll race it back. Ball fake from 3. Drive and missed the jam. Trying to tomahawk it down with the right arm is Howie Fleming Jr. And UNLV still manages to get 2 out of that.
They do, and I'm assuming from a UNLV perspective right now, it's who's going to lead them in this last 2 minutes. It's a huge 2 minutes for both teams. For Air Force, and there you go, and a finish and an N1. You can't let it get away from you.
Jeff, a heady play by Cam Sanders. Knew the length, the shot blocking ability of UNLV, kind of leaned in, drew the foul, shielded it enough to get the shot off. Chance to tie it up at 30 with the made free throw.
No doubt. What great body control there by Sanders in the lane, and young man's having himself a day. That's 10 points. Make it 11.
Cam now 2 of 3 from the charity stripe. We're tied at 30. This game has been tied 5 times now, under 2 minutes to play. Little hesitation, floater in the lane, got it. Isaac Williamson, the freshman out of Monroe Valley, California.
And he made that look so easy, didn't he? Just floating in the lane.
Skip pass, corner, high arcing 3, no. And the low block, and they'll slip it in for 2. Just checked into the ball game. That's Al Green, the senior out of Sacramento. Transfer from Louisiana Tech. And the Rebels back in front by 4. Silahusky, no.
We talked about a minute left here in the first half, and Falcons need to keep this close to have that momentum going into the second half.
Under a minute to play here. Rebels trying to expand this 4-point lead. Head fake, short. Robinson the rebound. Here's Sanders. Cam to the hole. A lot of one and done on these possessions here for the Falcons. 18th rebound of the game for UNLV.
Great mentality by Sanders, though. I mean, you could just see it. You look at the young man out there. He's focused. He wants this one today badly.
6-second differential between the shot and the game clock. 10 to shoot here for the Rebels. Zip pass inside. They'll go up top, long 3, no. Air Force playing for the last shot here in the opening half. Hoban. And that's the way the opening half will come to an end.
And they might have been a whistle right before there, Josh.
The horn sounded. Maybe they put a second back on.
Yeah, I think they're going to take a peek.
So reviewing what the time should be, so time will be added. It's a matter of how much, and have to believe it's no more than a second or so. See, 1.2 foot hits out, so 1 second. Yeah, you'd have to believe something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be right around that 1.1. We'll hear from them shortly. I don't think this will take them much time to decipher that.
Well, regardless of this, Air Force 1 it is.
1.1 on the clock.
Okay, 1.1 on the clock. And if you're John Jordan, Air Force, you look up at the scoreboard, you're right in this game. You got to feel good with the flow of this game and really how you responded. You've overcome an 11-0 run by UNLV, gotten right back into this one, and they're going toe-to-toe with the number 6 team right now in the Mountain West Conference.
No doubt. And do you run a set here for Hoban, get him open for a 3 here?
Cam Sanders on the inbound. Got Ethan Greenberg out to the right side. Hoban battling up top. With Fleming Jr. Sanders, here we go. Bounce pass in, and that will do it. Robinson wanted a call.
Sanders wants 1-2, and they might have gotten it.
And they're going to send the teams back to their benches, and there's definitely time there. He got hooked. Robinson.
Previous plays under review.
And they're going to review the time after the foul call. And pretty close.
Yeah, it's real close. Maybe 0.1 if they give it to him, but
17 fouls on UNLV.
You know, I think regardless, Josh, if that is the end of the half, and we'll find out here in a second, I think Air Force being down 4 against this really athletic, high-scoring, running Rebels team, I think they will take that. Get into the halftime, regroup, come out at home. You've got a couple running Rebels, UNLV players in foul trouble. You've got one that's not feeling great.
Oh, and if Air Force is going to win a game like this, they're going to win it at this pace. They come in averaging 61 points a game. They're right on pace for their average, and UNLV certainly held in check. As you mentioned, scoring almost 80 points a game. And I think the big story of this game, without question, Dre Gibbs Lawhorn goes to the bench with 3 fouls and just 2 points.
Yeah, no doubt. And like I said, that young man is talented. And here we go. We're going to hear in a second.
Again, our crew today, Brian McNutt, Ian Caldwell, Derek Aganyes.
Foul occurred with 0.5 on the clock. White's going to shoot 2 free throws.
So the foul clearly occurred before the zeros on the clock, so you go back to the exact time. 0.5, shoot 2 seconds.
So half a second left, 0.5 on the clock. In the bigger piece of this, Eli Robinson has a chance to cut this to 2 here going into the locker room. A 73% free throw shooter. We've talked about it ad nauseum, Jeff. Air Force has struggled from this area all season long. Just 64%. 11 made free throws a game for the Falcons. Today, Air Force 3 of 5. And now 4 of 6. So Falcons within 3, and that's the way the opening half will come to a close. Air Force right in it against the number 6 team of the Mountain West Conference. It's UNLV 34, Air Force 31. We'll take a timeout and come back, recap the opening 20 minutes. You're watching Falcon basketball on the Mountain West Network.
Our world faces intense challenges and immense possibilities. At Amentum, we're striving to build a secure, vibrant future by protecting our people, resources, and planet. We're advancing initiatives that support our environment, our security, and help explore our universe. Our mission is clear, and our time is now. Amentum, advancing the future together.
This is where it all begins. Here, cadets are forged into leaders of quality who think critically and, when duty calls, fight and win our nation's wars. Standing side by side with USAFA, the U.S. Air Force Academy Association and Foundation is proud to support the development of tomorrow's leaders of character, to serve our graduates, and to preserve our history. Integrity, service, excellence. This is the United States Air Force Academy.
Everyone knows me as Maddie, but here, I'm Master Sergeant Hefner.
You can't stop this. Ha. So let's go.
This is my life in the Air National Guard.
You can't stop this. Never. Let's go.
Mountain West fans, tournament time is coming. Get ready for MW Madness in Las Vegas.
And away we go.
One stop, one shot, one champion. Who will rise to be the best in the West? Tickets are on sale now. Don't miss a minute of the action this March. themw.com/2026.
Old Trapper Beefs. Pack smash.
My peanut butter and jelly.
Ew.
Oh no. Yeah, I guess my ham and cheese didn't make it.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Now that's a great view. Yep.
Back here, halftime, as Air Force leads trails UNLV by a score of 34-31, but they have really kept a high-scoring team in check here in the opening 20 minutes. Josh Howe, Jeff Bennett, and Jeff, if you're interim head coach John Jordan, you have to be pleased with this start. Air Force got out to the early lead and then weathered that run by UNLV when the Rebels went on an 11-0 run, and they finished within 3. But all in all, Air Force doing everything they need to do to stay out of this game.
100%. We said it's a game of runs, and we've seen this in lead changes. but we talked about 80 points a game this Running Rebel team averages. 34 at the half. So Air Force is doing their job defensively. If Air Force can just tighten it up a little bit more on the offensive side, hit some of those open shots. Pretty good from three, hitting the board's pretty good. It's a great game. And I think if Air Force can continue that defensive effort, they're going to have a chance.
When you look at the numbers here in the opening half, UNLV's shooting it at a pretty good clip, 41%. 6 turnovers for the Falcons, just 4 for UNLV. But boy, rebounding, that's an area Air Force controlling this game.
And that's, again, when you talk about, kind of the nitty-gritty stuff that you need to do, right? It's rebound, it's points off turnovers, it's all of those things. And right now, if you look at it, Cam Sanders, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And then on the other side, Jones has 6 rebounds for UNLV and 11 points. I think the Sanders versus Jones matchup right now going on. But I love the field goal percentage from an Air Force perspective that they're holding UNLV to.
3-point game at the half. We'll take a timeout and come back and bring you highlights from the opening 20 minutes here from Colorado Springs.
Can I do this?
Do they like me? Who am I?
In sports, we find the answers. They challenge us.
Inspire us to lead.
And most importantly, sports teach us how to be ourselves. The lessons sports teach us.
Go far beyond the field.
The track. The pool.
The court.
How far will you go?
Help us in supporting over 1,000 cadet athletes at the United States Air Force Academy. Join the Falcon Athletic Fund today and be responsible for funding critical projects and providing the margin of excellence resources necessary for our cadet athletes to compete for championships at the highest level.
Some make it their main career. Some give a weekend a month. All we need are the moments. In the Air Force, how you serve is more important than how much you serve. You always get more out than what you put in. Full-time, part-time, in or out of uniform. How many moments can you give?
3-point game at the half. UNLV in Air Force here on a Saturday afternoon at the United States Air Force Academy. As Jeff, we look at how the first half played out. Certainly momentum swings in that. Plenty of highlights as we go to the footage in this one. And Air Force was outstanding early on, led by Cam Sanders. Sanders, big half with 11 points.
Oh, he's on his way to a triple-double at this point. 11 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, and just the energy and the passion that he's brought to the floor tonight has been incredible.
Sanders 4 of 9 from the field. One of those field goals from long range, and boy, the quickness, the ability to draw the foul and finish at the bucket. And how about Ethan Greenberg? He had 43 made threes coming in, and he adds to that total here in the first half.
Well, in that first one we saw, that was a big one because that was in the middle of a UNLV run. So that was huge. He's coming up in big moments.
Well, Tyron Jones, just a freshman, but he is a playmaker. One-man wrecking crew inside, and just a physical presence. He has been a tough guard for Air Force here this afternoon.
Averaging 11 on the season per game. He had 12 in that first half, along with 6 boards. And obviously he wasn't feeling great at the end, but we'll see you about the second half.
And Walter Brown makes 1 field goal. It's a big one from long range. And that is the difference of the opening half. It's a 3-point game. 34-31, UNLV with the lead. We'll take a timeout and come back and get you ready for the second half here in Colorado Springs.
Old Trapper Beefs. Camp Cravings.
There you go, buddy. Have fun.
This is not going to be pretty.
We're camping. What could possibly go wrong? No.
Ooh.
That did not go as planned.
It never does.
right.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
So do you have a favorite bobcat?
Hey, Dad.
Hey, that's my jerky.
The Ford family of trucks and SUVs, proud sponsor of winter. Be winter ready in a built Ford Tough F-150 with low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers. Only at your local Ford stores.
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
A promise is a trust not to be broken. Whether spoken with an oath
Do solemnly swear.
It's your first day. You know I got your back, right?
or sealed with a pinky. In 1922, a group of soldiers launched USAA with a promise to take care of their own. And after 100 years, we're still taking care of the military community. That's our mission. Always.
Credit Union One Free Checking has everything you need to bank on the go. Make deposits and more with our highly rated mobile app. And get your direct deposit up to 2 days sooner with CU1 Early Pay. Open your account in minutes at creditunion1.org.
Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend, designed to hydrate better than water, made to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel, so you can lose more sweat and run the game. Gatorade, is it in you?
It's the beginning, we just got It's the beginning, we just got It's the beginning, we just got
Marines are made for this. Made for the calling only warriors can answer. Made from an unshakable belief in our nation and a strength that comes from the determination to win together. But you'll have to earn your place among us, because you don't join the Marines. You become one.
It's Bedlam tonight here in Boise.
The crowd is pumping at the pit. This place is electric.
There's nothing average about the Air Force Academy, or those who come here.
It takes more than smarts and good grades.
It takes grit.
It's for the I never quit students, the relentless, persevering, most likely to keep trying until I reach my best students.
Because we will go on to lead others, push boundaries, save lives, and represent American ideals.
If you've got what it takes, prove it.
There's nothing average about the Air Force Academy, or those who come here.
It takes more than smarts and good grades.
It takes grit.
It's for the I never...
Back here at halftime, UNLV and Air Force, it's a 3-point game, and Jeff Bennett, certainly this game has played out in a fashion head coach Josh Pastner did not expect. A look there at Tyron Jones, a sensational freshman, 12 points in the opening half. The basket is no good, but go to the free throw line is Lucas Hoban.
I love the little backdoor cut. Great set coming out there in the second half. Gets Hoban to the stripe. Hopefully gets him going for the second half.
Well, certainly this is not UNLV's first rodeo at altitude. They played in Laramie, which is obviously over 7,000 feet as well, back in early January, but nonetheless, Jones impacted, and now the Falcons trying to take advantage as they cut the deficit to 2. Hoban, 82% free throw shooter. Got them both.
Yeah, when you talk about altitude, Wyoming is a whole nother beast. That's about another, 600 feet.
So it's a 1-point game. UNLV, Ben Arby. He checked out of the game in the first half with 3 fouls. Sets the screen. UNLV drives. Fall away. Got it. Tough shot by Howie Fleming Jr.
What a great finish. We talk about Benarby. Both Benarby and Gibbs Lawhorn are sitting on 3, and I think that's something that's very important for us to watch here. How they deal defensively. Who they put on Sanders.
Beautiful find. Cam Sanders connects with Wes Silahusky, and Air Force within 1.
And that's it. If they take Gibbs Lawhorn off of Sanders because of the foul situation, who's going to deal with Sanders right now? Because he's feeling it today.
And Jeff, the defense by Robinson to force that shot. It's falling away, so just over a minute into this second half. It's a 1-point game. Sanders drive to the hole, has it blocked, sticks with it. One-on-one, trying to shake loose. 3-ball, Robinson, short iron, long rebound, chased around. Sanders plays it here. Long 3, got it! Lucas Hoban, the triple. His first 3 of the game, and Air Force has gone up by 2.
Yeah, and from an Air Force perspective, that's an ideal start. Great little backdoor cut there. Get Gibbs Lawhorn on the score sheet.
Gibbs Lawhorn He has had a quiet afternoon to this point. That's his first field goal of the game. His other 2 points made at the charity stripe. So 38 apiece, now been tied 6 times. Greenberg looking inside, 9 to the shot clock. Silahusky trying to battle for position, and Air Force turns it over.
Yeah, tough little entry pass by Greenberg.
No look.
Yeah, pay the price on the other end off that turnover.
Now the flush there by Hamilton is Kamani is in double figures with 11 points.
I mean, just with their options, Josh, you blink and UNLV has scored 6 in a row, it feels like.
40-38 here. Hoban thought about the 3. Cam Sanders, Silahusky battling in the post against Van Arby. On the floor, Robinson hangs, has it rejected. Walter Brown, a shot blocking machine, step through in the corner, 3 ball, in and out, back in. Triple goes Kamani Hamilton now with 14 points. And that will go UNLV's way.
Yeah, and that all starts with the great help D by Brown on the defensive side of things for UNLV. And just an unfortunate turnover there for Sanders.
Wiley Daring back out of the game for Air Force. And boy, this UNLV team can score in a hurry. No luck, pass inside. And they get the 2. Kamani Hamilton. He's got 16 points.
Yeah, and some frustration building there from a Falcon perspective. That's too easy of a bucket on an out-of-bounds play to give up.
So the lead stretched to 7 here for UNLV. It's their largest lead of the game. Hoban looking for the freshman Daring. Now they go up top. Robinson back to Hoban, and that's going to be off UNLV.
I thought that might have been kicked there for a moment by Hamilton, but I wonder if Air Force might look at that, but I don't think they will.
As Jill checks into the game for Eli Robinson. So yeah. Dre Gibbs Lawhorn in company with their biggest lead here of the game.
Yeah, Air Force has to really tee up right here.
Gibbs Lawhorn loses it, goes right up to the hole, and his second bucket of the game, and you can see how explosive number 0 is.
And again, you know, second half has started like the first half ended, a bunch of streaks.
Sanders from long range.
Huge bucket for the Falcons there, and of course it's from Sanders, who's trying to carry his group.
Cam Sanders, second triple of the game. Air Force within 6. Gibbs Lawhorn got it, and he can heat up in a hurry. You can see the confidence building in number 0 quickly now. 9 points for Gibbs Lawhorn. He had just 2 at the break.
I mean, completely different individual from the one that was so frustrated after he picked up his 3rd to that expression right there by Gibbs Lawhorn.
Timeout on the floor is UNLV stretching the lead. Gibbs Lawhorn from downtown. Rebels by 9.
Wearing a crown.
We could tell you how we push past the status quo. And how no one out-innovates us. Or we can just show you.
Well, whatever Josh Pastner has said here at the half, it has worked. UNLV has come out on fire. They have opened up Jeff Bennett, their biggest lead of the game, up 9 here with 15:23 to go in the second half. It's a 14-3 run over the last 2 minutes and 51 seconds.
Yeah, and we talked about it. They're just so explosive offensively, UNLV, and before you blink, right, it's that 14-3 run. It didn't even feel like it was coming at you that quickly, but it did.
They'll go inside of the freshman, and he'll score. Riley Daring. And Falcons get a big bucket out of the timeout. They get it to within 7. Gibbs Lawhorn from the elbow. And he is heating up in a hurry, and that is not a good sight for Air Force. Gibbs Lawhorn again coming in. The #1 scorer for UNLV, nearly 20 points per game, but over the last 6 games scored 20-plus points. He scored 31 in that 5-point loss at home against CSU on Wednesday night.
Well, that's 9 points in the first 5 minutes of this half, Josh.
Jill inside, no. Tipped around, UNLV able to pull down the rebound. Quickly, it's Howie Fleming Jr. They'll work into the corner. One-on-one on Daring. Now Daring gets screened. Van Arby against Daring. And turns, he draws the foul, so Van Arby will go to the free throw line for 2. First trip to the charity stripe here this afternoon.
And again, and I was wondering if I was worried maybe about a little shuffling of the feet down there, Josh, but a good finish down low by Daring.
A matchup there with the 6'9" Jacob Van Arby, and on the other end, Jacob an opportunity here for points, and he's going to have to wait for one more free throw attempt.
Yeah, but we're talking from a UNLV perspective, Josh, right? The run here, right, to start the second half. But also now there's 6 minutes in, and Benarby and Gibbs Lawhorn haven't picked up that 4th yet.
UNLV has made their last 7 field goals. It's a 10-point lead. Rebels' largest lead of this game. Hoban, and that's going to be offensive on A.J. Patterson. Well, this game is turned here in the second half. So A.J. Patterson picks up his 2nd. And Gibbs Lawhorn, the man with a hot hand, walks out of the front court. 9 of his 11 points have come here in the first 6+ minutes. Van Arby with the right hand, no. Jill with a rebound. Over to the right side, Jill to the hole, all alone, and he goes outside. Hoban, 3, rebound, hauled in by Greenberg.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there. I don't think he thought that his defender fell, but it doesn't matter when Hoban's just going to keep lighting it up.
Well, they'll trade a wide open 2 for that long 3 by Hoban. And Air Force now cuts it to 7.
And I think that, you know, the difference, Josh, their Air Force is, you know, they're taking a little punch in the face here with these runs, but their body language and their energy has not changed. You know, everyone's positive. The bench has still been into it and screaming. It's, you know, it's a group right now that just doesn't want to go down. They just want to keep battling.
Jill outside, long 3 again. Lucas Hoban back-to-back deep triples for the Falcons.
Yeah, I chuckle because as soon as that went in, I looked over at the UNLV bench and the assistant coaches just kind of threw their hands up and turned around like, what do we got to do to stop this kid?
Air Force within 6, and the Falcons playing fearless here this afternoon. They've made 7 threes. And Hoban has made the last 2. Jill, the kick out, and
he made that one from Falcon.
That's Steph Curry range right there. And Hoban feeling it as he's got 16 to lead the way for Air Force. that shot goes. So UNLV started to heat up here in half number 2. They're over 52% from the game.
The second little floater by Fleming. He loves that shot.
How about UNLV shooting 83% here in the second half? Lob it up and throw it down. Van Arby from Gibbs Lawhorn.
Yeah, I don't have that athleticism in me, Josh. What a great dish by Gibbs Lawhorn, and Benarby just feeling it. You can see in his expression as he's running back down the court.
And Jeff, the ability to finish, that was not an easy pass to throw down.
No, not at all.
And Zilla Husky answers, so Air Force, after a big-time alley-oop by UNLV, answers, and they're within 8. This has been a resilient Air Force team all game long. Do they have enough in the tank? And UNLV just keeps coming. This time, Kamani Hamilton.
Well, and Hamilton used his body so well down there in the block.
Back to 10. That's been the largest lead of this game for the Rebels. Silahusky inside, uses that left shoulder off the window for 2. Wes Silahusky.
I just don't see the way Air Force has played today, and just their energy and their body. I don't see them going away. I think this is going to be a hard game for UNLV to try to put away.
Silahusky defending Van Arby. Drive, the drop, Van Arby, an easy 2, and a timeout on the floor. Rebels push the lead back up to 10. Is a high-flying UNLV team starting to light it up here in the second half. A 10-point lead.
SJSU, every sunrise sparks your purpose. Purpose, ignited in the classroom, on the field, through Silicon Valley internships, academics, teamwork, and research. And our community of care means that every Spartan is valued and supported. So tell me, are you Spartan ready?
In the Air Force, we operate as a team of teams. We believe greatness can come from anywhere. Many roles with one aim. Different ways to lead. Different ways to look at and solve problems. With the flexibility to do it your way. Full-time, part-time, in or out of uniform. We are all airmen. One Air Force, a team of teams.
How about the second half for both these teams? Air Force shooting 57% from the field. They're 4 of 6 from long range here in the second half, but UNLV even hotter, 86%. They're 13 of 15 from the field, perfect from long range. A shootout here, and this is a tough shootout to win against a loaded UNLV team averaging nearly 80 points a game.
Oh, no doubt. Air Force 3 of their last 3. So combined, these teams are 8 of their last 8. That's not going to cut it from a Falcon perspective. You need defensive stops.
So Cam Sanders out of the timeout. Now double digits here. Here's the drive, finish with the left hand, no, leaves it short. Gibbs Lawhorn, he is so explosive. The screen there, bounce pass in the paint. Silahusky, good defending, but just a better move with the left hand. Going underneath is Kamani Hamilton.
Yeah, it's a really good finish, and that's 22 on the day for Hamilton now.
A quiet 22, just 100%. A crafty player on the bounce, and a block by Silahusky.
Well, maybe that block will bring some energy here.
Air Force down by 12. Largest deficit of the game, still shooting the 3. Hoban can't get this one to go.
Yeah, now you're getting at the moment where you can't let this get out of hand. Got to stay within striking distance.
Van Arby, a little bit of a shoulder fake there, can't finish. Sanders, crossover, down the lane, no.
Yeah, I think Sanders was trying to draw that contact, Josh. Good heads up defending, sorry there, Josh, by Brown.
Well, the ability to finish, not easy today against UNLV. Again, we talked about it multiple times, but it bears repeating. So long, so quick to the backboard. In the drive, and that's going to be a travel. No, they're going to call it a charge before the travel.
Yeah, I think Hamilton would rather trade that for a travel than the personal, but
Kamani Hamilton draws the, or charged with the foul. Air Force hanging around with 9 minutes to go here in the second half.
With the Mountain West app, it's your game, your way. Designed for superfans like you, so that you'll never miss a play. We've got you covered with free access to thousands of Mountain West games, from your phone to the big screen. Stream live games, watch highlights, and unlock exclusive content anytime. Download the app today.
Point deficit for the Air Force Falcons here out of the timeout. 9 minutes to go, and Jeff Bennett, this is a key stretch right now for Air Force.
I mean, no doubt. We knew UNLV has the ability to score, obviously averaging 80 a game. And there they are. We were just talking about 31 points in the first 11 minutes here, where Air Force had held them to 34 in the first half. So the lid came off offensively a little bit here for the running Rebels, and we're seeing how explosive they really are.
Hoban, a couple of big threes for the Falcons. One of the 5 on the floor right now for John Jordan's team. With the left hand short. And a whistle. And Air Force will have possession here. Falcons haven't hit a shot in the last 2+ minutes.
No, since we said there were 3 of their last 3, we haven't seen a bucket fall, and we'll fall on that sword for just the jinx from us.
UNLV 6 of their last 8. A.J. Patterson, the inbound. .15 to shoot here. Greenberg for Robinson, guarded by Gibbs Lawhorn, using that left forearm against Robinson. He's doubled up, no call, and loose ball pulled in by the Rebels.
Yeah, and I like that from an Air Force perspective, getting Robinson on Gibbs Lawhorn to see if he could draw that fourth, and had good help deep.
Gibbs Lawhorn, hesitation, going to the reverse. Boy, what defense on a part of Hoban. 12 to shoot now. Gibbs Lawhorn doubled up on the baseline, and we're going to get a reach on A.J. Patterson.
Patterson doesn't like that, and yeah, he wanted a jump ball, but obviously did not go his way with that call. But I think if you're Air Force, Josh, you've got to do everything in your power. Here's Gibbs Lawhorn on the dribble.
AJ!
And the basket goes, and the foul.
Yeah, you've got to get Gibbs Lawhorn his fourth. You've got to just go at him, because he right now is just, he's doing to Air Force what Jones did in the first half. He's just taking over this game.
He's a scorer, and he's going off here in the second half. He's got 12 points in the half, 14 for the game. UNLV pulling away here late in the second half.
Trapper Beefs. Energy emergency. Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Sports fans, we cheer on our favorite teams at fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away. And they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes, act with respect, and be officially human.
A 7-0 run for the UNLV Rebels has them out to their biggest lead of the afternoon. 15 points here with 7:59 to go in this second half.
Well, we talked about how well Air Force, kept Gibbs Lawhorn at bay in the first, and not so much here in the second. He's taken over the second, and he's just, he's got the confidence back in him, and he's playing like the player we envisioned before this game tipped off.
So Trey Gibbs Lawhorn, 83% free throw shooter, knocks it down, completes the 4-point play. He's at 15 points now. 13 of the 15 coming here in the second half. And we got a whistle inside, and this is going against the Rebels. Emmanuel Steffen. He's a transfer out of Arizona. 7-footer from Lagos, Nigeria. On the inbound here, Air Force trying to stop the bleeding. Haven't scored in the last 3.5 minutes. Off the jab step, Robinson, spin move, right hand, no. Falcons have gone ice cold 0 for the last 6.
Yeah, Falcons, you're right, have gone ice cold, and at the same moment UNLV is heating up. It's a bad combination.
Drive, no basket. Hamilton lowering that right shoulder, draws the foul.
Air Force foul is on number 21, Ethan Greenberg, his first.
So Ethan Greenberg picks up number 1, and for Air Force, that's now 6 as a team. Rebels inbounded here with 7:13 to go. Catch it, shoot it, score it. Red hot. Dre Gibbs Lawhorn now with 18 points of the game. And a timeout called by John Jordan.
Yeah, and now, gosh, that young man just came out in the second half and said, what you just saw for 20 minutes is not me. Here's who I am. And he's putting on a show.
Tough to contain great scores. The Falcons did it for 20 minutes, but Gibbs Lawhorn starting to heat up here in half number 2.
Yeah, and again, we've talked about the game of runs, Josh. That's an 11-0 run now over the last 340. And, you know, the field goal percentage for Air Force is down to 37. It's just, it's not gone the way that they envisioned when they were sitting in the locker room at halftime.
Well, against a team like UNLV, you have got to make shots. And early on in this second half, Air Force did. They were 4 of 4 from three-point range in the second half at one point, but just that dry spell, 0 for the last 6. They haven't scored a basket in more than 4 minutes. You cannot do that against a team like UNLV if you want to hang around.
No, I think, look, you could probably say that for the majority of Mountain West teams with as great of a conference this is in men's basketball.
So Cam Sanders now, 12 to shoot for the Falcons. Silahusky. Sanders. Tough three, falling away, got it, banks it in.
Hey, whatever it takes.
72-55 here, 6:30 to go.
And that stopped a 4-minute drought for Air Force, much needed.
Sanders was 16 and an answer the other way. Fleming inside.
You know, the first half, Josh, we talked about the defensive effort and getting stops and turning them over. They are not getting stops right now, Air Force, against this UNLV team.
Silahusky, a little half hook there, is short.
Why not?
Another long iron, this time from Gibbs Lawhorn.
I don't blame him. Get across.
Good sight there for UNLV and all basketball fans. The talented Tyron Jones looks like he's going to be okay. Just some big-time altitude sickness. Again, 12 points at the half, and they have not had his services, but quite frankly, they haven't needed him here in the second half.
No, and he's eating a stinger. I'd love one of those right about now. Those things are great, but no, they didn't need him right now. And you might have thought at halftime that, right, that's a problem, but Gibbs Lawhorn quickly made us forget about that.
How about Hoban? Another triple, his 4th 3 of the game. Lucas Hoban now with 19 points to lead the way for the Falcons.
That's 4 games now in a row, double digits for Hoban. Just continues to grow here at the end of the season, which is a great sign for the Falcons for the future.
Kamani Hamilton, a monster game here, hits another 3. He's got 25 points.
You know, the funny part is, Josh, and you mentioned it earlier, a quiet 25, right? We're talking about Gibbs Lawhorn, we're talking about Jones in the first half, and Hamilton's like, well, what about me? I'm sitting here with 25, 10 of 18 from the floor.
He's a guy who comes in averaging 12 points a game. We talked about it earlier. UNLV won in Logan. They beat the #1 team right now in the Mountain West Conference. This is a team nobody wants to see as they knock in another 3. It's Howie Fleming Jr. Nobody wants to see them in the postseason.
No, and like we mentioned earlier, after this they have 4 games left, and all of those opponents are above them in the standings. So it is literally, it's in their hands on how high they want to climb the conference rankings. And it's imperative. You get that top 4, you get the first round bye in the Mountain West tournament, rest some bodies, get healthy.
Fleming lowers the shoulder, and he draws the foul. You look at the stretch here for UNLV at Grand Canyon. We know what a tough place, plus tough gym that is to play in. Then at Nevada, or rather home against Nevada, home against Utah State, and then at San Diego State before the Mountain West Championship. So,
yeah, and you're talking about that, Josh. Utah State's in 1st, San Diego State's in 2nd, Grand Canyon's in 4, Nevada's in 5, and there's UNLV sitting at 6. So it is literally, it's up to them. You know, some would look at it and say, well, that's an unbelievably difficult schedule at the end. That's what you want. You want to play those ahead of you.
No question about it. And it's a stretch that realistically they could go unbeaten. They had a 3-game winning streak going into that home game against Colorado State where they fell by 5. And perhaps they can put together another streak here to close out the regular season, as this one is now a 22-point advantage for the Rebels. Fleming Jr. now with 10 points. One of 4 players in double figures for the Rebels.
And look, these are the games. Down 23, 4 minutes left. That's a massive hill to climb. But we talked about it earlier with the new era of Air Force, right? And looking forward, this is where you build what you want to build right here, because you grind through the hard moments, right? You stay positive. You have the bench up and everyone getting each other's back. Like, these are the building blocks that this team is going to look towards as they move forward.
Time out of the floor. With that, we'll step aside. 3:50 to go. All UNLV here as we close this second half.
Our world faces intense challenges and immense possibilities. At Amentum, we're striving to build a secure, vibrant future by protecting our people, resources, and planet. We're advancing initiatives that support our environment, our security, and help explore our universe. Our mission is clear, and our time is now. Amentum, advancing the future together.
This is where it all begins. Here, cadets are forged into leaders of quality who think critically and, when duty calls, fight and win our nation's wars. Standing side by side with USAFA, the U.S. Air Force Academy Association and Foundation is proud to support the development of tomorrow's leaders of character, to serve our graduates, and to preserve our history. Integrity, service, excellence. This is the United States Air Force Academy.
Everyone knows me as Maddie, but here, I'm Master Sergeant Hefner.
Can't stop this. Ha. So let's go.
This is my life in the Air National Guard.
You can't stop this. Never. Let's go.
Confirmed 2-point basket. Back here with 3:50 to go here in the second half. UNLV pulling away here, 81-58 over Air Force, and a 20-5 run. Jeff will do that.
Yeah, 20-5 run over the last 7, and we keep using the word explosiveness, and that's what we've seen from this running Rebels team in the second half, and it's just been a little bit too much firepower tonight for the Air Force Falcons.
And Jill draws the foul. 3:39 to go. Well, if you're John Jordan, there's certainly some takeaways from this game, but you know, in the end, you got to be able to make shots, and you got to be nearly perfect playing a team like UNLV, and second half just did not fall that way for the Falcons as they get the basket and the foul. A.J. Patterson.
Well, look, and Patterson with a good move there, you know, in the lane. And look, Josh, going back to what you were talking about, like, ultimately, yeah, Air Force hasn't had the greatest second half on the floor that we would like to see from them, but you have to tip your hat to UNLV, not just on the offensive side, but the defensive side as well. They've picked up their game, and I think too many times people don't, you know, people always focus on, oh, what our team hasn't done, and they don't give credit to the opposing team. And UNLV has been more than a worthy opponent this second half. They've been really, really good.
Yeah, they've forced 9 Air Force turnovers in the second half, just 2 for UNLV. Points off turnovers here this afternoon, 14 for UNLV, 6 for Air Force. That's certainly one of the key metrics in this game. And then don't forget about 19 of 25 from the field. Now 20 of 26 as the Rebels pulling away late.
Yeah, and Hamilton with another good move in the lane. He's had such a great afternoon. And
Hoban, long 3.
You know, we talked about the Falcons coming out in the second half and maybe, you know, going at Gibbs, Lawhorn, or Barnaby or whatnot to get their fourth, and just hasn't gotten there. Gibbs Lawhorn still sitting here on 3, being able to control the game on both sides.
He's a bucket away, Gibbs Lawhorn, from 20 points in 7 consecutive games. He's going to have to wait.
And what we haven't even talked about too, and look, right, we talked about other weapons. Fleming quietly with a triple-double for UNLV. 10 points, 10 boards, 10 assists.
This roster's been impressive. And Fleming, senior transfer, redshirt senior out of Louisville, Kentucky. At the line, Emmanuel Steffen, transfer on the University of Arizona. Josh Pastner's former school, of course, was on that team that won the national title in 1997 under the late, great Lute Olson. Hoban, 3.
And I think we might see UNLV just start to slow it down now as we hit this 2-minute mark. 22 points.
Under 2 to play here. Gibbs Lawhorn, 3-ball, got it, and he is over 20 points for the 7th consecutive game.
And you can't tell me he didn't know he was sitting on 18 as well, Josh. He knew where he was.
21 points now. 19 out of the 21 coming into the second half. 7 and 10 from the field. A score. Dre Gibbs Lawhorn. Been impressive second half for the Rebels. And we were talking, Jeff, at the break. How about that Mountain West Conference tournament coming up here in a couple of weeks? Outstanding. You look at the field, a high-powered New Mexico team. We know what Utah State is. Grand Canyon, so strong. San Diego State is always there. This is going to be some kind of tournament here in a couple of weeks.
And I think that's one thing that gets overlooked a lot, right? The Mountain West Conference is a top conference for men's basketball. Whomever draws a Mountain West Conference team in the NCAA draw is not going to be happy. And you know, so we can sit here all we want and say, yeah, okay, Air Force is, you know, is going to drop to 0-16 here in the Mountain West. It is an unbelievably difficult conference, and when you're trying to make up ground and crawl back into the competitive side of things, it's not easy.
The shot clock was expiring. Sanders gets one, and now the final minute here in this second half. 3-ball. Got it. Nas Cunningham, the redshirt freshman from New Jersey, a transfer from Alabama. You've got transfers from Alabama, Illinois, Arizona. This team is loaded with talent. Yes, there's a reason why they transfer, but Josh Pastner has fielded an outstanding roster, and certainly one that has the potential to make a deep run in the postseason.
Well, yeah, when you have a roster that does have a lot of transfers, right, it can be a little bit awkward, rocky in the beginning of a season as they're starting to gel, right? But now you're at the tail end of the season, and they look pretty put together to me.
Colby Jill drawing the foul, and at the line here with 28 seconds to go. 3-point play is converted. Kobe Jill now with 7. Shot clock is off, and UNLV perhaps going to just dribble this one out.
Yeah, we talked about it, right? Air Force will go back after this. They've got some good to watch off of this tape. Keep growing, keep learning. And for UNLV, you've got that first round bye set in your sights. 4 games to do it.
Steffen, one last basket for the Rebels. Cam Sanders, shot by Jill, no, and that will do it. UNLV flips the switch in the second half. They score 57 points in the second half. They put up 91 for the game. and pull away here late against the Falcons.
Mountain West fans, tournament time is coming. Get ready for MW Madness in Las Vegas.
And away we go.
One stop, one shot, one champion. Who will rise to be the best in the West? Tickets are on sale now. Don't miss a minute of the action this March. themw.com/2026.
Old Trapper Beefs. Pack smash.
My peanut butter and jelly.
Ew.
Oh no. Yeah, I guess my ham and cheese didn't make it.
Old Trapper. What's your beef?
Now that's a great view.
Yep.
Can I do this? Do they like me? Who am I?
In sports, we find the answers. They challenge us.
Inspire us to lead.
And most importantly, sports teach us how to be ourselves. The lessons sports teach us.
Go far beyond the field, the track,
the pool,
the court.
How far will you go?
Help us in supporting over 1,000 cadet athletes at the United States Air Force Academy. Join the Falcon Athletic Fund today and be responsible for funding critical projects and providing the margin of excellence resources necessary for our cadet athletes to compete for championships at the highest level.
Some make it their main career. Some give a weekend a month. All we need are the moments. In the Air Force, how you serve is more important than how much you serve. You always get more out than what you put in. Full-time, part-time, in or out of uniform. How many moments can you give?
Old Trapper Beefs. Camp Cravings.
There you go, buddy. Have fun.
This is not going to be pretty.
We're camping. What could possibly go wrong? No.
Ooh.
That did not go as planned.
It never does.
Old Trapper. What's your beef?
So do you have a favorite bobcat?
Hey, Dad.
Hey, that's my jerky.
Crazy. Back here, post-game, United States Air Force Academy. Air Force falls to UNLV here this afternoon, 91-66. And Jeff Bennett, we go back after that first 20 minutes, it was a 3-point game, and then UNLV woke up and they were on fire and did not cool that entire second half.
Well, it was a 3-point game at the half, and if you remember, Air Force came out, great first set that they drew up to come out at halftime, gets a bucket, gets another bucket, and you felt, okay, there's a little bit of momentum, and then all of a sudden UNLV just kind of said, nah, not today, not on our watch.
Well, let's go to the statistics in this one. The Rebels finished shooting 60% from the field. Turnovers, boy, they forced a lot of Air Force turnovers, converted those in points, 14 points off 15 Air Force turnovers, another key number in the game.
Yeah, and 9 of 18 from 3. But look, this almost mirrors if you look at the stats that we showed pregame. And Air Force a little bit better than their season average. UNLV a little bit better than their season average, but just too much firepower. And when UNLV got into their rhythm offensively, it was just too much for the Falcons to deal with.
Well, let's go to the highlights in this one. There were plenty of them. The Falcons would lead by as many as 6 in the opening half. Cam Sanders had 18 points on the afternoon.
Yeah, we talked about Fleming with a triple-double for UNLV. Sanders was close, 18, 8, and 9, and did his best to keep his Falcon team in it for as long as he could.
So Air Force hanging around. Sanders, some big buckets in this one. And how about Hoban from long range?
You know, Hoban, 19 points on the night, just growing, right, in confidence. You look at his last 4 games, all double digits. You love to see that out of a young player, just continuing to grow and get better.
Now on the flip side for Rebels in that opening half, Jones was a force, had 12 points, but 20 minutes is all he had in this game here this afternoon.
Yeah, he had his first half, which was an unbelievable first half. Didn't feel too well there right before the half, and you know, sat out. And UNLV didn't miss him at all, and that's not a knock on him. More to do with Gibbs Lawhorn and Hamilton, but Gibbs Lawhorn just picked up his game.
That Gibbs Lawhorn finishes with 21 points, 19 of the 21 coming in the second half for the 7th consecutive game. Dre Gibbs Lawhorn scoring 20 or more points, and UNLV pulls away to win for the 14th time this season. Nighttime in Mountain West Conference play, and Jeff Bennett, they are going to be a contender, no question about it, heading down the stretch here in the Mountain West Conference play.
100%, 4 games left like we talk about for them, 2 at home, 2 on the road, but all against opponents above them in the standings. So they have everything right in front of them to really climb out of 6th. Can they get to 4th? Can they get to 3rd and earn that first round bye in the Mountain West tournament?
And if you're John Jordan, the interim head coach for Air Force, there's some takeaways from this game. Air Force played well at times, but in the end, just too much offense from UNLV to try to overcome today.
Yeah, no doubt. We talked about it. The Mountain West Conference is unbelievably competitive, and it's hard to cut your teeth in a conference this good. And they're going to build, they're going to grow, they're going to set whatever they're talking about cultural-wise within their program, and that's probably what's most important to them right now, to be fair.
Growing pains for a young Air Force team, but certainly some bright spots out there today. Again, your final score here from Clune Arena. It's UNLV 91, Air Force 66. For Jeff Bennett and our entire crew, this is Josh Howe saying so long from the United States Air Force Academy. UNLV a winner here on this Saturday afternoon. So long, everybody.